Okay, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Kadash giving our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kadash. This is just a quick little video, so pretty much edifying on the, the MOTB, which we really can't, which is crazy that we really can't speak about it like that. But that only means, we're getting closer and closer to the end. So we got to do what we have to do, But the MOTB, right, the C-hip, right? So I was going through Isaiah 32 to find a precept, and then this one hit me, and it took me on like a little trail of research, pretty much, and this is what I got. This Isaiah 32 verse 7. So this is the Bible blue letter that you see right here, right? And here, give me a quick second. Goddamn trucks out here. I'm in transit right now. These trucks be out here wilding, bro. So it says the instruments also of the curl are evil, right? And we know that Esau is the border of wickedness. He's the most wicked that you can get. He is the people known as the wicked, right? It says he deviseth wicked devices, right, to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. So they say there ain't no precepts to the MOTB, which is Revelation 13, 16, 17, 18, those verses, right? Even though Revelations 14 is a precept to it, Revelations 14 and 9, Revelations 15, the first couple verses is a precept to it, Revelation 16 is a precept, on and on and on. But what I wanted to go through is the Strong, so the definition of where it says devices, right? Because I'm gonna show you something I found. But it says the instruments are are evil, right? And this, we know the MOTB is an evil device, because we know ultimately, even though they're gonna push it out there by deception, it's really to control you. And like it says in Matthew chapter 6, you can't serve two gods. So really you're putting them up as a god over you by giving them that control over you, right? And I'm coming back with another video, which is going to be a review of a trailer of the movie called In Time. It's an old movie, but I remember seeing it when I was younger, and I've seen it a couple times. It's called In Time, right? And I think, is that Justin Timberlake that's in? That's not Justin Timberlake that's in it. That's I don't know, one of those guys, Brad Pitt or somebody like that, and no, I think it's not Brad Pitt, it's Leonard, right? And in that movie, pretty much, which I ain't going, I'm gonna make a part 2 to that one, so I don't want to go too much into it, but pretty much they had the C-hip inside of them, and when you ran out of time, you ran out of life, which is pretty much the same thing if you don't take the C-hip, because you're not going to be able to, obtain any of those resources or be a part of the beast system. So yeah, it's pretty much going to be like you're not going to have a life, and you can even die because you're going to need the C-hip in order to buy or sell, right? So that movie was kind of like Esau programming, right? So you got to check that movie out, or just check out the review that I'm going to put out, right? So this is an evil device, right? Because it's really to control the Lord's people, right? It says he deviseth wicked devices to destroy, right? And he are going to destroy you unless you become a slave to him. It says the poor, which we know the poor and the meek of the earth is the Israelites, because those are the curses that came upon us. But like it says in Deuteronomy 30, those curses are going to be taken off of us and put onto our enemies, right? It says with lying words, so deception, right? It said, the Bible says in Matthew's, if it was possible, I believe that's Matthew 24, if possible, he should deceive the elect by the way of what? By lying, telling you, hey, this is the new thing, telling you, hey, you need to do this in order to provide for your family, telling you, hey, we're getting rid of fiat currency, you have to take this in order to be a part of this system. This is the way that the world has to go, when it's not, through lying, setting up a one world government, especially with NATO and their alliances, the beast, right? So what I wanted to do is go to this H2154, right? So let's go to it. My phone will let me, right? Zimma, right? So I went to show Strong's information just to get the definition, right? It says it's a plan, right? So the MOTB is a plan. You can see them coming up with the plan or fulfilling the plan right in front of our eyes, like with things that like Elon Musk is doing, which we ain't gonna speak too much about it. You know, they already ready to go. They had the technology ready to go, but it's a plan, so they have to plan things out and do things in phases, right? It says especially a bad one. It is a bad plan, right? That's why there's a punishment if you take it, right? Even though it's gonna seem like it's a good thing, and it's a heinous crime. It's mischief, right, through lying, purpose, thought, wicked device, mindness, right? So let's keep going through it. It says a plan, a device, wickedness, an evil plan, mischief, purpose, evil device, right? Wickedness, right? So what I wanted to go to is right here where it says wicked devices, because we know the MOTB, we will all agree that's a wicked device, right? Not only is it just a plan, but it's an actual device, as the way we use the word device today, right? So well, same thing popped up. Oh, did I do that wrong? Let me see. Let me go back to it. Okay, same thing. Let me see. So wickedness, evil, device, purpose, plan. I think I lost my place because I did this earlier, right? I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at. Okay, so what I did, right, is I went up here and I typed in device, because I'm trying to get more information on the device, because we know the MOTB is the CHIP, which is a device, right? So I went to Strong's. Now I don't know if this was the first one that popped up last time, but you know, you see right here where it says device. Now there's a different, right? It says H4284 for the Strong's, right? Now let's see. I believe this was the one that I found earlier, right? So when you go to the Strong's info, right? And bear with me because I'm in transit, so I'm driving, right? It says right here, thought, device, purpose, work, imagination. So it's a wicked imagination. It says cunning, device, invented. It's a invention, right? So it was something that they came up with right here. You see it right here. Thought, device. It's a thought, right? Usually, you know, I'm coming up with a device. I'm coming up with a plan and a thought. That's A. But if you keep going through more of the definitions, it's no different than looking up the definition of a husband. It gives you one thing, but if you keep digging through it, it's going to get to master of the household, which is the same thing as saying the head of household. You have to actually dig through it. This is called scholarship, what we're doing right here. So when you go to B, it says device, plan, or purpose, which is the same thing as thought. But when you go to 2, it says an invention. And an invention could also be a thought, an ideal, right? A device, a plan. All right, bear with me real quick because we got the man in blue, right, that I'm passing. So let me pass them and we'll get to it. So bear with me, bear with me. Yeah, I really don't do too many in transits. Hey, this in transit, hey, this is a whole different beast. But invention, right? And we know that the C-hip is an invention. That's why it's not all completely right now, because they're still perfecting it. They're inventing it. It's a thing that you see them putting in movies and stuff, because they've been working on this a long time ago, right? And they way further ahead than what we think they are, or what they saying they are. They way further ahead. But now what goes along with the invention is the thought part of it, where they have to plan how they're going to introduce it to the people. Because remember, it said through lying, right? Through deception, they're going to push this. So they already have the invention that they invented it, right? Now they have to figure out a plan. Now they have to invent a plan to push it, right? And it's really just a copycat. Everything they're doing is a copycat off the Lord, right? So they're trying to build a kingdom for themselves on earth, which is a copycat off the kingdom of heaven for only the Israelites, right? And then, you know, the power that the spiritual power that comes with being able to, like, I forgot the word, it starts with a T, but where we're able to think and be in one mind, which that's a prophecy that's going to happen to the elect, right? The Israelites, we're going to be of one mind, right? They're trying to do that too, where they could send, because what it does is it sends signals. That's what it's all about. It's going to be hooked up to a system, you know, internet of all things, and it sends signal to this, signal to that, right? But the sin is when you put it under your skin, right? So what it does is send signals, which is no different than in the kingdom. If we got spiritual power and I don't even have to say nothing to another brother, I could just, like, it's like I forgot the word for it, but I like telecosis or something like that, right? Where I could send a signal, a message to your brain from my brain without even talking, right? And I was watching the Zimbabwe, right, when the kids out there at school had seen the chariot come down. They said the beings that got out of the chariot was black men, right? And they said that when they looked at them in the eyes, they were sending them a signal, but they didn't speak to them, but they were sending them a signal that a lot of people was going to die from pollution, right? And they said that it was through a falsehood, that a lot of people are going to die from pollution through a falsehood. And that makes perfect sense, because that goes along with Bible prophecy. What's the falsehood? Deception, lying. So what's that falsehood that they're going to push? The new system, the beast system, which you know, the C-hip goes along with it. So it's like that message, that might have been a real event that happened, but they was sending it through them without talking, just brain to brain. So Esau's trying to copy off that, and he's trying to create it with his technology, with his internet of all things, which is the falsehood that, oh yeah, this internet of all things is going to be great for us. It's going to be a convenience. It's going to advance humans. It's going to do all this type of stuff, right? And it's going to be great for us. That's the falsehood, right? But it's going to cause a lot of pollution. And what does it say in Revelations? That a grievous sore should come upon them that took it. What's that? That's pollution of the body, right? And then when you talk about an internet system, and you talk about Skylink and putting up satellites and all that stuff in the sky and sending signals at a higher rate, 5G, 6G, 7G, wherever they gonna take it, that's gonna pollute the air, that's gonna pollute the system, that's gonna pollute the earth, all that. So pollution, so it makes sense. Just like those kids said that the beings told them pretty much through the mind, right? When they got out the chariots, and they spotted the chariots in Zimbabwe, you know, and that's kind of been weighing on me. I kind of been thinking about that, like, man, what could it have been? And then it all came together, because the same night I was thinking about that and went to researching that event, next thing I know, videos start coming up with brothers breaking down the C-hip. And now I'm putting it all together, and I'm like, okay, now it makes perfect sense. And that's what got me doing this lesson. So it's an invention. So there's many precepts on the MOTB, which, you know, I already said it, because sometimes we get in the spirit, you know. But with that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.